Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai, Ba'Hashem Rakakudash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who rule well and teach well, and peace and blessings to the elect and 1/3 of Israel out there that's pushing this word in sincerity in whatever way they can. All right, this lesson is going to be about, don't fear, what people think about you, or put off doubt demons, cast away those mortal thoughts, and just do the work, man. Because, you're going to have, these doubt demons that always come up, trying to persuade you that the Lord's not dealing with you, or that, you're not good enough to do the Lord's work. But, the reality of it is, we're really not good enough to do the Lord's work, but the Lord has mercy on his elect, his prophets, his servants, and puts the Spirit on them to do the Lord's work. So if the Lord's dealing with you, you're gonna do the work, all right? And you just gotta have faith that the Lord is dealing with you. Cast off those doubt demons. I'm gonna start by reading Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 4. It says, "Then the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. And before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee." Alright, and sanctified means like to make holy. "And I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations." Alright, so the Lord was talking to Jeremiah. He said, look, man, before your parents even named you, before your mom got pregnant, it was always in my will that you were going to prophesy to all these nations. Alright, and then verse 6 says, "Then said I," Jeremiah, Yahweh power, behold, I cannot speak, for I am a child." So he basically told the Lord, he's like, yeah, I'm too young to be a prophet. Alright, and then the Lord came back, verse 7, it says, "But the Lord said unto me, Say not, I am a child, for thou shalt go to all that I shall send thee, and whatsoever I command thee, thou shalt speak." Alright, so he said, hey man, I don't want to hear that shit. Quit making excuses. Whatever I say, you're going to do it. Alright, verse 8 says, "Be not afraid of their faces, for I am with thee to deliver thee, saith the Lord." So he said, hey man, don't fear whatever, old heads might have to say, saying you're too young. Just have faith that I'm with you. Alright, he says, "Be not afraid of their faces, for I am with thee to deliver you." So whatever situation you might find yourself in when you're doing the work, the Most High is gonna deliver you, man. Alright, it says, "Then the Lord put forth his hand and touched my mouth, and the Lord said unto me, Behold, I have put my words in thy mouth." And that's what's happening right now, man. Because you start to watch all these videos and you start to read for yourself, and you're going here a little, there a little, precept upon precept, line upon line, and you're getting this full understanding, and you start quoting a lot more scriptures than you've ever done in your entire life, and the correct breakdowns of them. That's the Lord putting his word in your mouth, man. Alright, and as long as you have the word, always constantly meditating on the word, and you're putting your faith in the Most High, these demons out here can't fuck with that, man. Alright, no matter what scoffer, what old head, or how many of them come up to you, they're gonna lose. Alright, this is Isaiah 41:10. "Fear thou not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am thy power. I will strengthen thee, yeah, I will help thee. Yeah, I will uphold thee with the right hand of my righteousness." Alright? It says, fear not, man. You can't be afraid of who might see you when you're out on the highways or byways, or who might come across your videos, or any of that, man. No matter who it is. If it's a heathen, they're extra through. And if it's a 2/3, they're gonna, you already know the destination of them. Alright? It says, "Behold, all they that were uh, incensed against thee shall be ashamed and confounded." So anybody that comes up, tries to debate the word, all right, tries to go against the truth, is going to be ashamed and confounded, all right. Just like if you ever try to argue against any kind of truth, and then you find out that you're wrong, you always get that shameful feel. Like if you start arguing with the teacher saying, 2 + 2 = 5, and in your mind you think you're right, and then once you finally get proven wrong, you're like, damn, I'm retarded. That's how these 2/3 are going to be, these heathens are going to be, but on a higher scale, alright? On a way, way higher scale. It says, "They shall be as nothing, and they that strive with thee shall perish." Alright? They shall be as nothing. And if they strive against thee, or strive with thee, they shall perish. Which means if they're, constantly picking fights and arguments with you, they're gonna perish. That word perish means die. Alright? Let's see. I'll go to the second Ezra. This is second Ezra chapter 14. Alright, verse 4, or I'll start at 13. Second Ezra 14 and 13. "Now therefore set thine house in order, and reprove thy people. Comfort such of them as be in trouble, and now renounce corruption." Alright, so this was an angel talking to Ezra after he showed him like the vision that, like, hey, 2/3 are basically gonna die, but he's gonna have mercy on his elect. He said, "Now therefore set thine house in order," alright, and reprove thy people. Comfort such of them that as be in trouble, and now renounce corruption. Let go from thee mortal thoughts. Cast away the burdens of man. Put off now the weak nature. Alright? And that's something that really transforms in your mind and in your spirit when you wake up to the whole knowledge of this truth. All the prophecies, like the Most High is coming back to kill a shit ton of people on the earth. World War III, nuclear destruction. When you really meditate on how much hell is coming upon the earth, the whole earth, in entirety, you really take a step back and look at the bigger picture. You really let go of all these mortal thoughts, like your payment or your job, bills, your job, car issues. You're like, man, this ain't shit. This is light work, man. You start to let go of even close relationships. You realize like 2/3 are gonna die. It's like, man, I don't want to be a friend with a 2/3. And then you realize it, and it's all right to say that, because in the kingdom of heaven they're gonna come back in their right mind. You just and you don't give a shit about all these trends and what's the latest dance move, and trying to keep up with the latest rapper or whatever. You're starting to look for immortal thoughts. That you start to cling to immortal thoughts. Alright, it says, "And set aside the thoughts that are most heavy unto thee, and haste thee to flee from these times." Because that's what we want, is to flee and be delivered in the time of Jacob's trouble and the nuclear destruction, and basically the judgment which is coming to these heathens, man. We want to flee from that. That's what our main meditation should be on, is how to please the Lord. Alright. This is Sirach, or Ecclesiasticus, chapter 2, verse 10. Look at the generations of old, and see, did ever any trust in the Lord, and was confounded? Or did any abide in his fear, and was forsaken? So was there any man that trusted in the Lord and was, confounded? Or anybody that abide in his fear and was forsaken? What that means is that, they put their all into that name. They always retreated back to calling upon Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. No matter what was going on in their life, they always called on Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai for deliverance. Or abide in his fear, which means like they feared the Most High more than anything, and always, wanted to please him more than anybody else. Was there anybody written in the Bible that did those things and was like cast away? The Lord said, nah, I'm not gonna deal with somebody that's trying their 100% to please me. No, because the Most High is a righteous, just man, or righteous, just God, I should say. He's gonna have mercy and deliver those that are trying to please him. It says, or whom did ever despise that called upon him? It says, for the Lord is full of compassion and mercy, long-suffering, and very pitiful, and forgiveth sins, and saveth in time of affliction. Alright? But he's not going to have compassion on somebody that's not asking for forgiveness, and that's not trying to, that doesn't fear the Lord, Because there's a lot of people walking around here that don't actually fear the Lord. Even though they might say they do, but they really don't. They're going to establish their own righteousness and trying to, carve their own path to the kingdom instead of walking down that straight and narrow, man. But with that, in conclusion, man, just you cast off those doubt demons, man. Pray to the Lord if you're struggling with that. Pray and fast, man, for the Most High strength, because he'll deliver you, man. I got testimonies just for me myself, but I mean the testimonies are all throughout this scripture about how the Most High delivered them. The story of Egypt, even the flood. Lot was delivered out of Sodom and Gomorrah. The different battles. King David, before he was king, he was like a child. He was like, 13 or 14 when he fought Goliath. And I just read in Jeremiah how the Most High expected him to be a prophet. And he said, but Lord, I'm just a child. It doesn't matter, man. If the Lord's dealing with you, you're gonna do it, man. But with that, I hope this video was edifying and uplifting to the elect. So with that, shalom.